Greetings from Chicagoland. You're listening to Munira's Musings, where your host Munira will showcase new guests each week to share exciting details about the journey to their niches. As we like to say, the riches are in the niches. And on this show, we'll share ideas on how to break through our invisible boundaries so we can start taking steps towards our dreams and create the life that we most desire. If you're passionate about impacting lives, then this podcast will give you some great ideas and equip you with the tools to quickly grow your business. Okay, let's get started with today's show. Here's your host, Munira.
Greetings from Chicagoland. How are you, everybody? Welcome to Munira's Musings. I am the Niche Navigator, and we have a new guest all the way from Long Branch, close to Seattle in Washington State. So it's pretty early for him. So let's make his day today. We do these shows because we want to know the journey to your niche and the niche of our guests. So our guest is James Gebhhardt. Did I say right?
That's close now. Just Gebhhardt.
Gebhhardt. Okay. James Gebhhardt. And he has this unique product called my Arc Kit. And I want to know what that is. So without further ado, let's talk to James. James, welcome to Munira's Musings.
Oh, good morning, Munira. How are you?
Good. So tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, just an entrepreneur, just a dad, a grandpa. There was a niche in the market where it needed to be filled. So we started to program the service we do online to help people out.
Okay, so just a dad and just a grandpa. So how many just kids do you have?
I got two girls, and one's married. Well, they're actually both married now, and I have two grandchildren. That's Ella and Garion. Two dogs, two fur balls, I call them, and married for 36 years. And we built our own house. I've been a commercial or resident journeyman electrician for the last 20 years. And we were just had a situation come up where a niche has to be filled, and we decided to go ahead and, take the plunge and do it for people.
Okay, so you are an electrician, and what's this new niche that you're talking about?
Oh, well, let me start how you have to, out of necessity, we did this.
Okay.
So basically the story begins, it's kind of like the fade back. And now you get the fade back. Woo, woo, woo. We're going to fade back in time.
Okay.
And back in about 96, we did a road trip back to Iowa where my dad lived. And he lives out in the country. And I sat him down with a video camcorder, and I started to ask him questions about his life. What was he doing as a kid? He was a paper boy forever. He was he got drafted into the Korean War, and what kind of cars did he drive, and how much was a gallon of milk, and all these little things. And he had some funny stories, and what it come down to it's really nice to have this kind of information from your parents. I did the same thing with my grandmother and my mother. And but then I burned a DVD after that, and a couple of years later, my dad passed away. And then years later, I had to find the DVD, and then it gets scratched. My girls are getting bigger; they're going their separate ways. How do you hand down these memories? I had the family photo album now, which had a whole bunch of memories and stuff in it, and who's this, who's that? They're just old pictures. And he started kind of brainstorming and saying, how does a person And nowadays, you don't really hand down a photo album. Everything is digital. Everybody's taking a zillion pictures and throwing them up into the cloud. And if you really look at places up in the clouds and stuff like that, if you don't touch your pictures and stuff, information for 180 days to 2 years, they can sit there and go click, you're deleted, because they think you're not around anymore. So what we did is we programmed up myarkit.com to where you purchase 10 gigabytes of storage space, which is your lifetime account. You do it one time. And then you take a memory, let's say, yeah, this is a great memory right here. You take a memory, you upload it, you can put audio story to a picture instead of just putting a picture in there. And then you arc it and you save it. And you can save that. The grandkids will have it for, in their generation. We're going to try to build it big enough to where generation after generation will have the memories that they can go to and, relive what your thoughts were, what your emotions were, instead of just being a picture on the wall.
So you said this became a necessity because you wanted your father's story to be alive.
Correct.
And you did this with your grandparents, your grandmother and your mother and everybody else. Why was this so important to you?
Oh, you start to lose those memories. You start to lose things like, I remember my daughter one time came to me, and like my grandfather, who we were just talking a little bit about how we came to America back in the 1880s. I have no stories of my grandfather, my great great grandfather. And my grandfather, he was had a little bit part in a movie one time. He said like one line, and I remember it was on YouTube. And I showed my kids, oh, this would be your great grandfather saying this, and they just thought it was the coolest thing. They kind of connected now. They connected with the past. They connected with their great grandfather, and those are the things we kind of lose, the connections we lose from our parents and our grandparents and things like that. And if you can put, stories of how you grew up, or just things that that you loved, or what you did, your emotions, not just typing them down and stuff like that. Sometimes you can get the emotions by just turning on my handheld recorder and just putting the audio story in of things you did when you were a kid, or your first car, or your first love, things like that. And, you get to know your ancestors and your parents and your grandparents, instead of just, like I said, instead of them just being a picture on the wall. Or nowadays, you don't even know where the pictures are, because they're going to be stuck in a cloud somewhere, going to be censored or deleted.
True. So lots of people, like I have lots of albums, right? Now we have other companies out there who on TV, they say, send us your pictures, we'll put it all digitalize it. Is that something that you do, or does the person who purchased the spot in your cloud, is that somebody that they do it themselves?
Well, when those are great companies that you digitize a lot of times what you have. Like you have like pictures, or sometimes you have some old VHS and things like that. You can digitize. But then you got the question of, then what do you do with it? It just gets stuck in a cardboard box somewhere, and it still gets lost or deleted or something like that. So we make it possible for people to use our services, and we work through our main IP and our main, we're going to be working with Amazon Web Services to back up. And then eventually we get big enough, we're going to be working with Iron Mountain, which is a big company that worked with like the Fortune 1000 companies, 95% of them, banks. We're going to put stuff where banks put their information. And so it's going to be secure. It's going to be there for generations. We're a C corporation company, so we can live on in perpetuity as a company. And so you get stuff digitized, get those memories. Now you got to do something with it. It's good to have your backed up, your memories backed up at home, but you still need to back them up someplace where other people have access to them. So you back them up into MyArkit, then somebody else will get a MyArkit account, and then you can share memories back and forth. You can create albums. You can, just you get to choose who sees your stuff. It's not a social media platform where people will like or dislike or, give you little stars and things like that. It's kind of a private thing to do.
Okay, so I get this whole concept, and like you, my ancestors, I don't even know what my great grandmother's history is. I know a little bit about it, but we don't know where she died or any of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So then it became very important. Now, I've always loved people, and I've always wanted to learn stories. So my grandfather and my grandmothers, they always told me these things because I sat at their feet to listen to their stories. And I can just do a compilation. I think of all our cousins, I'm the only one who has all of this information up here. So it's important to put it down and just make a compilation. So this is a good way to do it. However, I have no pictures. I have nothing. I just have verbiage what they've told me.
That's the great thing about my Arcade is you can upload an audio story. So you just click on the microphone and you start telling a story, and it can be an audio story. Or if you even have like a picture, and then I like putting a bunch of putting a story to the picture, you know, an audio story. You know, not a lot of places they can't do that, but with my Arcade, we do that. We are able to put a story in and get the audio story to it.
Okay, so you said 10 gigabytes, right? 10 gigabytes in a video world is just so little.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You said a person can buy 10 gigabytes of space.
10 gigabytes, correct.
And isn't that too little of a space?
10 gigabytes, you'd be surprised at 1,000, 2,000 pictures with stories. You can burn up a lot of gigabytes if you're doing a lot of video. And we usually, we limit a video to 10 minutes because usually you can tell a story and something in 10 minutes on a video. So plus what we do is each story or each memory, let's say, you don't just upload a whole bunch of pictures and that's where you keep them. We have you upload one thing at a time. So if you had a picture or a short little video or something you've done, you upload that or put a story to that, and then you go to the next one. So you're kind of funneled into reliving that memory, which is kind of really fun to do. Relive that memory, save that memory, go to the next memory. And 10 gigabytes actually it's I gotten probably 500-600 things on mine, and I've used up 2 gigabytes.
Okay, because space is always an issue, right? It's what you always worry about. You're running out of space. Then what? Do you can you buy more space then?
Exactly. You can buy more space. You can buy another 2 gigabytes at a time.
Okay, so this is a wonderful concept. How many customers do you have?
Oh, we still have under 100 right now. We're still pretty new.
Pretty new. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you're here, you're trying to tell us what people should do about their stuff. And this digital, I think this is a very good concept about telling a story. And those people who want to write their own autobiography, they can do the same thing, right? Then it becomes a movie, and then they can all patch together and become a wonderful asset.
Yes. It's something you can pass down, to your kids. And they just have their own little Arcade account, or you actually you get a 30-day free trial. And if you don't purchase my Arcade, it turns into a view-only account, which means you can still view somebody else's my Arcade lifetime account. And so I like my brother. He passed away. He didn't have he didn't have any videos, which really bums me out. But we just made a folder of him on my mom's my Arcade account and put all this stuff into one thing. So you don't have to buy an individual one for each person. You can, cars, pets, my brother, you can build stuff up under one account and still be able to visit it.
How very wonderful. So you said this came about as a necessity. Why was this a necessity?
Well, this is probably about 10 years ago, I started brainstorming on this. And technology had to catch up a little bit because we download with a dump truck, but we upload with a teaspoon. So it's gotten a lot better. It's really actually pretty good now. But out of necessity, you start looking at how can you keep something someplace that's safe, still have other people access it, and not be subject to either being deleted, censored, or lost. So you had to kind of kick those 3 things and figure out a way to do it. And like I said, most of all the places in the clouds, they will delete you if you don't touch it for a while. Other places, if you put the wrong thing in, or if you say the wrong thing, they'll sit there and go click. You can be censored. I had a friend of mine that was on a certain website, and he was hacked. Somebody got in and stole his identity. He had to totally start all over again, brand new, and, get his friends and family back in there and stuff like that. But what he had there was totally gone. And we wanted to think of a way where we could safeguard where you didn't get that problem. So we're going to, besides using our normal internet service provider, like I said, we're going to use Amazon Web Service to back up, and then we're going to have another company all together separate from that as a backup. And to have somebody be able to hack you might be one thing, but your stuff is always going to be there. You're never going to lose it.
So this is a perfect niche idea, right? It's a very fundamental for families. So let me ask you this. You said 10 years ago you had this idea and you're pretty new. So it's taken you 10 years to figure out how this is going to work and execute?
Well, 10 years of, I was not very much of a businessman back then. I was just an electrician. And like I said, we used to have 10 years ago or more, when you were dying to upload even a 1 megabyte, one little picture on the internet or something like that, took you forever. We had dial-up. We never had digital or anything. We had dial-up services. Then we had DSL. And right now I'm on Starlink, which actually is working pretty good. So technology had to kind of catch up with us. And then I had trying to get people interested in, investing in what we're doing. But since it was so new, it's like investing in an idea that's not proven yet. So, that's what we're trying to do is we have a lot of interest out there of what we're doing. We've been on many, many podcasts, and I really appreciate you being on yours, where we're going to get the word out, where we're able to do this now. The digital age is here. Let's take advantage of it and not have somebody pass away again. Like I just had my cousin pass away about a month and a half ago. And, she never got onto my Arket and had a lifetime account. And she has a big family and things like that. So, it's like, start saving yourself, start saving your parents. And, it's like a backup of a backup.
This is really amazing because, it's giving me ideas as to how to do this. And there are people that I know who have wonderful stories, and they have a ton of pictures that they can start doing uploads and start working on it. So I'm going to share that with you. So how do people get this account? You said they could try it for 30 days.
Oh, yeah. It's simple. Just go to my Arket, MYARKIT. And it's a little bit of a play on words for Noah's Ark. That's what my nickname is, Noah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you go to myarket.com and you can kind of look around, and you go to the free trial, which is right on the front page there. And you just sign up for the free trial. We take no bank information, and a person basically signs in, and you start seeing how to use it. And you throw stuff in there, and you start in. And when you really start getting into it, it's really kind of fun because you want to grab another picture and throw another memory into it. And the first time I started using it, I must have been on there for 3 hours just having fun doing it.
So do you need a scanner to scan the pictures that you have and then upload it? Or what's the easiest way to do it?
First thing I usually try to have people do is, you're going to have a bazillion pictures with you. You have stuff that's on your phone and stuff that's on your computer. So the first thing you really want to do is start to kind of organize things. And then if you do have pictures, like I had a shoebox full of, the regular pictures and stuff like that. And you can either have people digitize them for you with those certain services, or I just bought a little document scanner. My little document scanner here. One of these little guys.
Mm-hmm.
And basically you can feed a picture into that in about 2 seconds. It just goes right through. And all of a sudden I had all my pictures digitized. And then you stick them into certain folders if they were me or my dad or my mom or, whatever. Now you're kind of organized. You just take one at a time. You upload it, put the memory to it, Arket, and go to the next memory.
And you call it Arket. How wonderful.
ARKIT, Arket, like archiving, Arket.
This is wonderful. So thank you so much for being here and telling us about this, because this could open up a new world for coaches who are trying to make memories with pictures and then use those clips for their, for sharing it. So you can see a lot of I can see a lot of possibilities. So what are the 3 things that you would tell my audience what are you trying to share with them? What is your 3 pieces of advice?
Number 1 piece of advice is don't procrastinate. A lot of times people will sit there and say, oh, this is a good idea. And then they sit on it. And they might sit on it for a year or two before they actually sign up, because it's like, it's not on the front burner to do right now. But at the same time, it's like eating an elephant. You got to start that one first bite and start doing it. You'll get better. Find out more memories. You'll get stuff off your phone. People have 6,000 million pictures on their phone. Go through it, do something, and put those memories down. And other thing would be to honor thy mother and thy father. Sit them down and start getting their memories before you lose them. Because once your mother or father pass away, you only have a snapshot, or you only have the memories in your head. It's nice to get the memories straight from their mouth. And the other third thing is, just go to the website, search it, just try it. It's actually kind of fun to do.
All right. So you said don't procrastinate, honor your adults, and then, just go and do it, right?
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. So, and that's what the whole thing is execution. Half of the ideas out there don't get implemented because they are not executed. And that's the idea. Go execute. It doesn't matter. The results doesn't have to be see. Now I'm going to ask you one more question. If you speak a story and you don't like it, is there a way to redo?
Oh yeah. You can, if you have a story, you can always go back to a certain upload, and you can edit, which means you can either delete it, you can add more to it. And also another feature we have is you actually assign an executor to your account. So if you pass away, the executor goes into your account and clicks it, and your account becomes a memorial account, to where everything you put in there is locked. Nobody can edit or nobody can do anything, because that's the stuff you put in there. But you can add more to that person's account to memorialize them.
Okay. All right. Now, how would you know if the person has passed?
If you visit their site, if you're the executor, you hopefully you're really close to them. Like my daughter's my executor, so hopefully she'll know if I pass away. And then she goes into her account, she clicks over to my account from her being the executor, but then she just hits click, and then boom, it becomes a memorial site and locks everything in place.
Okay. See, this is so amazing that you have thought about everything. Is there something else that you can enhance? Is there something else in the works that you are trying to?
Oh my gosh, I got stuff in the works. We also have another service called Events, and events.myarkit.com is like, say you're getting married, and they had where everybody used to be able to get the little cameras and stuff on the tables at the wedding. And you take the pictures, and you got the cameras, you got to develop and things like that. Well, with events, you buy an event just like you're buying a lifetime account. But basically what you're doing is you can send out an invitation to now everybody that's going to participate in your wedding. Like we got a wedding coming up on Friday we're doing this with. And now that person just goes in and they kind of like sign up to MyArkit, but it's basically just as a participant. So now everybody at the place can take pictures. They can add the funny stories. You can actually put a whole bunch of your stories in there when they first met, maybe their first date, and you can keep this event going. It could be a family album one. I got my events I have is my family album, where our whole family can participate in that big family photo album I was talking about. That's an event. So we also have MyArkit events, and we're going to work on a family tree portion of it. We got a family tree hooked into it. And I always got things rolling in my mind.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. This is really interesting. It's very intriguing. A very difficult idea that came into fruition. However, it's making history right now as we speak. So that's amazing. All right. So how do people find you?
Just go to myarkit.com.
myarkit.com.
MYKIT.com.
This is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this. And I love this idea. This is very unique. Thank you, James, for being on our show. Any last words you want to share with my audience?
Oh, good morning. Don't procrastinate.
I love that. So, ladies and gentlemen, now you have it. This was a need that he wanted to just talk to his father, create a video, then had to archive stuff. And instead of doing that, now you have so many pictures that are sitting somewhere that are lost, and you can now create memories. So go ahead and do that. Maybe try it out for 30 days and see if you like it, because it could be something that you leave a legacy to your family about. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Niche Navigator is going to sign off, and is going to come back next week with another guest, with another niche, with another unique idea that's changing the world. Until then, let's keep it rolling, execute your ideas, and we'll see you after you like, share, and subscribe my channel. We'll see you next week. Thank you, James.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Munira's Musings. We hope that you found today's conversation inspiring and useful, so that you can continue making progress towards mastering your own niche. Please tune in next week for another episode, and in the meantime, you can follow us on social media at Munira's Musings on Facebook, and leave us a review wherever you're listening to podcasts. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.